be talking about adult best friend. Who doesn't have an adult best friend today our age, and maneuvering the best friend with life. So that's quite a roller coaster that you guys take us on for the film.
Delaney and I have been best friends since fifth grade. So we had a lot of stories to fall back on to help us kind of build this world for the fictional Katie and Delaney. And Delaney, you can speak a little bit about like directing the actual
movie.
movie.
Yeah, no, it's a personal story for us, and so I think like, you know, the journey, the ride is certainly fiction, but I think the emotional undertones are very much things that Katie and I have experienced with each other, with other friends, and I think we really wanted to, you know, make it a specific personal story, but also have a relatability for everyone watching. Just trying to create a universal story about how, you know, it's hard to maintain friendships when you become adults because, you know, when people get married, they have kids, priorities shift, and sort of what it's like and how much it takes to keep that best friend or keep those people in your lives.
But also as a best friend that's adapting to the best friend whose life is changing, I feel like they have they have a take an extra step to adjust.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, do I put my personal idea or opinion first, or do I put my support as the best friend?
Yeah, no, totally. And I think, you know, I think that, you know, Katie and I are very different in real life, as, you know, we're very similar in certain ways, but I think, yeah, those differences come out. And I think, you know, I always tell this story about, I think also like it's the moment of, you know, when Katie got married, I gave a speech at her wedding, and I don't think it really hit me that my place was not being taken, but I certainly was not going to be, you know, number one position as I would be when I was 10 years old. And I think after I spoke, it really hit me at the wedding where I was like, oh my God, like, you know, like she has a husband, they live together. Like, where does that, you know, like leave me, and like how like my priorities haven't really caught up to Katie's or the milestones. So I think, you know, it's a constant struggle for us, you know, to recognize like, yes, that is life. Like people change and people come and people go, but you know, our friendship is so important to, you know, me and to Katie. Like Katie, you know, I think it's one of the greatest things I have. So for me, I really want to always make an effort to, you know, keep it at the front of my life because it is that important, and you know, it's that ingrained in me since we've been friends since we were 10 years old. So it's not something I'm giving up on too quickly. I don't know about you, Katie, but
Yeah, I think that's perfectly said, Delaney. And um, since we have been friends for so long, you know, when you're best friends as kids, you're usually the exact same. You dress the same, you look the same, you do everything the same. And that kind of signifies to the world that you are best friends. So when you get older and you start to individualize, it can be scary. You know, if we're not the same and we're not on the same page and on the same step for everything, are we best friends? Or does that lessen our connection in some way? And it's something Delaney and I have talked a lot about and just, you know, thought a lot about together as certain aspects of our lives change and are no longer identical. Does that take away from us at all or not? And I think we kind of started to realize the core of the friendship and what makes it special is just the support and knowing that they'll be there no matter what. It doesn't matter if one person has kids, one doesn't, one lives here, one lives there. It doesn't matter. The point that makes us best friends is that we know they'll be there supporting one another no matter what.
Very well said. Supporting one another at all times. There are these changes as an adult that you bring up, and also the questioning, am I doing the right thing? Is this the life I want? But yeah, I don't want that other life where I don't know what I'm doing. Can you talk a little bit about your character, Katie, in this case, how she kind of goes through that phase?
Totally. I think for someone who does have a best friend and also a significant other, there can be a certain amount of you want to be all things to to all people. You know, you feel a little bit guilty that you have to divide your time, or that at certain times you do have to make a choice about what you're going to prioritize. it was important while we were kind of navigating this, a long time ago when we were growing up a little bit more, understanding that it's a healthy change, that it's okay to let someone else into your life as you get older. It's supposed to happen. And the important thing is knowing, like we said, that the friend's not going anywhere just because someone's getting a partner or getting a new job or moving. It doesn't mean that the person's going away, but you just have to have a trust in that friendship that, that they won't disappear, that they're there no matter what, even if the landscape of the friendship changes. I think deciding whether or not you're making the right decision is so hard for everybody for so many different things. Do I take the job? Do I go to the workout class? Whatever it is, it's really hard to make a decision by yourself, especially in this day and age. So I felt really happy that the fictional version of Katie could tell that story a little bit, where you're grappling with, is this right? Am I making a mistake? Who do I look to make this decision? And ultimately, you can obviously only look to yourself.
But I also did like the Delaney personality. That's just kind of like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. So that's pretty liberating.
Yeah.
Besides everything
Yeah.
else.
No, totally. And I think we wanted to, create that juxtaposition between the two characters, just not only to show that they were in different phases of their lives, but also, I think there are those people who don't feel as, like they're kind of like, okay, whether it's a conscious rebellion or just kind of like, I don't want to live by the rules. I don't want to do all of that stuff. And I think, for the character that I think I wanted to create for myself, it was just someone who's stuck too, who doesn't want to grow up, who doesn't want to take accountability or responsibility or put effort in their job. And I think it's out of a fear of change, and I think a lot of, like, whether it's, getting a new job or it's like, I think it's a fear of, oh, if I get a boyfriend, then like my entire life changes. I don't get to hang out with Katie that much. Like, I don't get to do what I want. Like, if I actually like put an effort at my job, then they're going to make me more responsible. And so I think we wanted to use that character to sort of create a person who is stuck, and what it feels like to be stuck, and then watch the person who's the most important person in your life. They're, they've hit a milestone and they're taking off, and you're, still right here. So I think that was important for us to kind of show both sides of the coin in that way.
Well, obviously you guys are friends. You shared giving a speech during the Katie's wedding. So what are you taking away from this project?
I think I don't know, I think definitely that it was a wonderful experience to work with your best friend. And we had a lot of, our producer, Marie Nikolova, she's one of my close friends, she got Zachary Quinto involved, and just to have people around you and friends around you and such, like, that was one, that it was a very adult experience to make your own, first feature. So I think I grew up a lot, and I wouldn't have been able to do that without an insane amount of support from Katie and Marie and all of my friends in the movie. So I think I took away from it. I knew prior how important, friends are in your life and the process of growing, but I think this movie just emphasized that tenfold for me. And so it makes me want to hold on to my friends even tighter, because I certainly could not have done this without them. So that's what I have taken away from it. I don't know, Katie, what you have.
I would say, I mean, to boil it down, I would say I want people to watch the movie and understand that adulthood is not the death of friendship. It takes effort and communication, but if something's important to you, there is a space for your life in it. And I'm really thankful that we ultimately decided to play ourselves, although it was a scary decision, especially with Delaney also directing. It's a massive undertaking. But if nothing else, I'm really happy that we have this story that kind of pays homage to the friendship that has shaped our lives in so many ways. And I'm just really, really proud that we have it.
And Katie, I'm curious, what did your husband say when you watched the film?
He really loves the film. Thankfully, he knows that it's fictional. For my actual proposal, Delaney was very much involved. So I didn't have to hide it. I couldn't have anyway, but he's extremely proud of us. And yeah, he's just so excited for us and for everyone to see it.
And I'm sure he's going to be excited to see it premiere in Tribeca.
Yes, he's very excited.
So can you invite people to go watch it that's in the area?
Oh, totally. Yeah. We're so happy that it's in Tribeca. They're such a safe and supportive space for creatives. And like every year they are, of course, and New York's such a fun place for, I live in New York, so it's easy for me, and everyone else can fly in from California, but we're really excited.
Yeah, we're excited, and I think we're really grateful to have it at Tribeca and have the opportunity for our friends and family, and you know, a lot of the cast and crew's friends and family are coming too. So we're excited to have like a very warm and welcoming crowd, because it's always the case there.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations with this film, because we can all relate as adults with our best friends.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.